Namaste Kusum. So I am my own photographer, camerographer today, and what I decided to cook for you is the red kidney bean and basmati rice. So I prepared the beans overnight, and this is my table where I have my ingredients. I have my basmati rice, hingue stack. I have my vegetables already chopped, ginger, all my spices, the ghee. So what I will begin with is the red beans, and then I will do the rice separately. So as I said, I'm doing this on my own. I'm working with my hand, with the phone, and so I'm going to put and measurements, forgive me, I estimate. So I'm going to put the ghee first. Put a little bit more. The pot is already warm, so that should be okay. Yeah, hear it splattering. So now I'm going to put the phone down for a few seconds to add. I'm going to add the asafoetida hing. I'm going to add mustard seeds and the coriander seeds and the black peppercorns. Oh, and I'm also going to add the turmeric. Turmeric. Adding my pepper, black pepper. I'm going to remove from the heat just a little, just to make sure it doesn't burn. Then I'm going to add the cumin. The hing. One second. And finally, the mustard seeds. So this is what it looks like. Put it back on the fire. And you said once it begins to pop, then I will add, I don't have cloves, so turn that up, turn the heat up just a little bit so you can get pop. And here I have already chopped. I did this last night, and I basically just did everything together. I have the garlic, I have some onions, green and red, and I also decided to add some bell peppers. So I'm going to add this now. So I added the onions, garlic, and peppers. That's going well. Then you said once it turns brown, I'm going to add, I have some ginger grated. I think I'll add a little bit more. I have some grated ginger here, which I'm going to add. Not too much. It's fresh ginger. So I added some. I'm going to add my bay leaf. I'll add a tiny one because I don't have that much. I don't have that much red bean peas because I'm the only one that's eating it. So I didn't want to waste resources. So this is going nicely. Then I added cumin. I'll add a splash of coriander as per the recipe. And forgive me, I'm just trying not to be tense about it, just be myself. So that's, oh, and I'm gonna add some red pepper. Has a very nice smell. And I love pepper. So I'm gonna keep stirring this. Oops, sorry. And now I think it's been going for a good time. I'm going to add the peas. I'll put the phone down for a second. So these are my red bean peas, which I already cooked. So I'm going to add them to the pot. And stir everything in. I have a medium, low to medium flame going so that it doesn't burn. So I'm gonna let the spices cook in for a little bit. Turn the flame up just a little. I made a mistake. I should have added the chopped tomatoes before the peas. Okay, so here I go, adding the chopped tomatoes. I forgot. So my tomatoes were supposed to go in before the beans, but here you go. These are my tomatoes, which I have prepared beforehand. As I said, I'm going to turn the fire up just a bit to get it nice and cooking. And you can hear the simmering sound of the food cooking. I'm stirring, and it looks great. And I'm going to add a little bit of masala now. Just a little. I'll wait just a little for it to get some more heat. And I'm going to add a splash of masala in a bit. You can see the fire is going well. Adding just a little bit of masala. I'm not good with measurements, and especially because I'm doing this on my own. I probably could have measured out before, but I'm not a person that measures when I cook. So I kind of just wing it. I did look at all the measurements on the video that you posted, since I was not able to have the full benefit of the class. So that's going nicely. And you know, when I cooked the peas before, I did add some salt, and I kept the water aside, so that's good. I'm trying to clear out some space while that is cooking, and you can see the juices already, you know, from the tomatoes, and it's lovely. So I like to cook the peas in so that it gets all the flavor of the seasonings before I actually add water. It already has the seasoning of salt, and just for good measure, I'm just gonna add a little bit more salt. So I use a coarse sea salt in a grinder, which I'm gonna grind just a little bit. I'll have to put the phone down. So I've added a little bit of salt, and I'm going to try to clear out some space from my tiny table that I'm using to shoot this video. So this is what it looks like presently. And it smells great. Wow. So now I'm going to add the water from the beans that I cooked already. And you said like 15 to 20 minutes. So I'm adding. I have one more bit of water from the beans. See if I can do this with one hand. Success! Yay! So I'm adding more water. Oh, I'm adding all the water from the beans that were already cooked. And Boy, does that look good. So I'm gonna stir this in. Stir it in. I'm guilty of tasting food while while it's cooking. So I'll let it boil a bit. Once it bubbles, then I'll know it's going well, and then I'm gonna taste. I mean the water content for the quantity of beans, because as I said, I didn't do a lot of beans because it's just like a one person meal. So hopefully within the next 15 to 20 minutes I can get some of this water to evaporate, and it will be like a nice thick sauce. And I'm gonna taste it to make sure my salt content is good, and then I'm gonna cover the pot and focus on the rice. Just making sure my fire is still on a medium flame. You can see it's starting to boil. So I'm just going to do a taste test to make sure, the salt content is good. I'm stirring it. Okay, I'm gonna put the camera down just for a bit. It is perfect. So I'm going to cover the pot. So pot is covered. I'm going to lower the flame just a bit. And now I'm going to focus on the rice, which is going to be in the pot. A lower flame. I use a higher flame for the rajam. And I'm going to use a smaller flame for my rice. So as you showed in class, it's pretty simple, quick. I will add some ghee to the pot. Turn the flame on. Then I'm gonna add some ghee. I'm gonna have to put the camera down once again. So I'm adding my ghee to the pot for the rice. Just a tablespoon of ghee. Just to cover the bottom of the pot. And I really appreciate the addition of the bay leaves. I couldn't find curry leaves in the stores yet. I'm still hoping to find those. And then I'm putting stuff away because, as I said, it's a very tiny space. So this is the ghee going. I think it was cumin that you added to your simple rice, so I do have some cumin. I'm gonna add a splash of cumin. Then I'm gonna add some of that sea salt. I'm gonna have to put the camera down again. So I'm adding sea salt. I'm not gonna add too much salt because it's I think it will be nice to have the flavor of the rajam be the predominant taste in this dish. And now I'll get my camera going again. A second. So I already soaked the rice and drained, so I'm gonna add the rice. Then I'm gonna stir it in and then add the water. You know, I've cooked red bean peas because I do love red bean peas, but what I appreciate from the recipe that you posted was the different smell that I'm getting, and I think it's the addition of a few more spices, which, like the bay leaf, it really smells good. And I've never really added tomatoes. We do it a little bit differently in the Caribbean. This is almost the same, but I think the difference here is the mustard seeds and the bay leaves. And you know, if I had the cloves, I would have added. And I don't have cilantro either, so it's like I'm substituting. And I've never really added ginger, so I'm just detecting a lot of it feels alive and vibrant, the smells that I'm getting from this pot. I'm grateful that I attempted to do this dish, even though, as I said, I wasn't there, but grateful that you posted the video. So I'm adding the water now to the pot of the rice, with the rice, and as you said, you know, just enough to lightly cover, just to cover the rice. I'm gonna add a little bit more water. I'm stirring it in. Don't like to mobilize it too much, so I'm gonna add just a little bit more water to my rice. Then I'm going to, as you said, keep the lid slightly ajar, and the fire is, once it starts to boil, let me wait for it to boil first, and then I'm going to cover the pot. I'm going to turn the burner up just a bit to get it going. I'm going to check on my rajam. Oh, this smells so good. Wow. Never done it like this before, so as I said, the additional spices, and wow, I'm really going to enjoy this meal. Woo! So it looks great. We cover the cover pot, and I'm waiting for rice to start bubbling, and then yes, rice is bubbling. So I have a smaller spoon, just gently agitate, not too much. I just wanted to get some of the ghee off the spoon. And now I'm going to cover the pot. Let's see. Cover. I think I should be okay. Let's see. Yeah, I'll cover it now. So cover the pot, and you can see I left a little bit ajar. So I got my peas going. It's on a nice bubble. And I think what I can do is once, you know, the meal is finished, then I will upload the second part of this video to show the final product. As I said, I don't have fresh cilantro, but I was contemplating maybe I could add some kale to the rice, garnish it with kale. I don't know. I'll see what comes to me after I have the finished product. So I'll see you in a bit. Bye for now.